Well, voting is currently underway at a council meeting for Johannesburg Mayor. Let's take you live there now.
In accordance with Schedule 3 to the Act, as I have outlined, I will now hand over to the IEC to outline the process. I thank you. IEC. Councillors, I'm coming to you, Councillor Christians. Councillors, seriously, we said at 10 past we are back and we are walking in, so we don't even know what was outlined to us. Code of conduct, please. Please. Councillor Christians, your hand was up. IT, the mic.
Speaker, the podium had the mic on. Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, just clarity. In terms of the vacancy of the mayor, it was reported that you said that the vacancy arose only today. Is it true, or was it on the date that you actually sent out the notice? We just need clarity so that the process can be followed correctly. Thank you. Councillor Christians, it was on the day that I announced it. It was on that day. The vacancy was declared on that day. And the statement was released. If you go on to the COJ and all over in the media, you will see that there was such a statement released 5 minutes after they had released a different statement. I thank you. IEC, can we continue?
Thank you, Speaker.
Councillor Christians, can we not have a point of order on a point of order? Can we please not do that? Councillor Christians, I've given the answer. Councillor Christians, please. On what is it now, Councillor Christians? Please, please.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, firstly, we needed clarity on that, so I'm not debating that issue. That's why I wanted clarity on it. But based on what has happened and the fact that the way the city has had this political instability, the DA therefore would like to call for a motion without notice where we would like to dissolve this council, and we ask for you to call a date for such. I thank you.
Councillor Christians, IEC, can we please continue?
Thank you, Speaker. Greetings to members of the council from various political parties, the city manager amongst us, and the distinguished guests in our presence. As the Speaker has already indicated, ours is a constitutional responsibility to assist the city to have an election of the executive mayor, as indicated. And then in terms of Schedule 3, obviously there will be nominations from the floor, and then if there is no contest, then the Speaker will discharge of a responsibility by declaring such a nominated candidate as voted. However, if there's a contestation, then we are going to have an election process. And when we talk about the election process, we have to highlight that the election will be done in secret, meaning that there will be ballots which have to be printed, and there will be a voting process which will ensure. And one councillor will be entitled to one ballot or one vote, and then there are a few requirements which we will be enforcing in the process, which is the requirement of an ID or an identity document which is valid. When I talk about the identity document which is valid, we are not talking about copies, we're not talking about passports, we're not talking about licenses, and we're not talking about invalid temporary identification certificates. However, if it's a green barcoded ID, we'll accept such, and then obviously there's a smart card from the Department of Home Affairs. And we will be making use of the candidate and or councillors list for all the candidates or councillors who are here. That will be what we'll use as a voters roll with ID numbers, and then we're going to be marking off the names of those who will be participating in the elections. And talking about some of the requirements, we are also going to have some security measures, including marking of the right of the thumb on the right hand, not on the left hand, for the purposes of this election. And then that's solely done because we are going to be having by-elections within the city in the next few weeks, and then we don't want any confusion where there is a presence of ink on the left thumb. And over and above that, as part of the process, the administrative process which we'll be embarking on, we are also going to be using stamps to mark the ballot papers which will be valid. So meaning that at the time of counting, the ballots which will not be having stamps will be regarded as invalid. We'll make sure that all ballots are stamped, and then we have emphasized that to the team amongst us. So in short, Speaker, that will be the process which will unfold, and when all ballots are cast, then we will have a moment to count those ballots, and then like the Speaker indicated, what is expected, it's a majority of the ballots or first past the post method, where the candidate which will get the majority from the council or the seats in this sitting will be the one who will be declared as elected. And that will be, in short, our process. In terms of the setup, that will only be determined by whether there's contestation, and then we will then have that opportunity to set up the station. So, and then we'll guide everyone accordingly in terms of the flow after we have made the setup. Thank you, Speaker.
All right, those are live visuals coming in from the Johannesburg City Council, where, of course, the election of the new mayor of Johannesburg is currently taking place. We just had audio issues. Let's take you back and listen in.
One for each party. And then colleagues from the IEC can go ahead and then just get the nomination forms to distribute to the various political parties.
Okay, thank you. They'll do that. Can we have the party leaders raise their hands with nominations? Those that want forms, can you raise your hands so that they can come to you? Protocol will get to you. Once you've received it, you can lower your hand so that we don't have confusion.
It looks like we are experiencing those audio issues there at the Johannesburg City Council. But however, these are live visuals coming in there, and shortly we will be, of course, knowing whether or not we do have a new mayor here in the city of Johannesburg. So far, only one name has been touted to take over from Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda, who tendered his resignation last week. And of course, that name is of the ANC's Dada Morero. We will definitely take you live back to those proceedings as soon as we have any new developments.